So let's start day 6 of my trip to Japan. I woke up in my hotel room and for some reason I decided to take a picture of the television remote and channel guide. I don't really know why I did this, but that's beside the point. I got ready and went out onto the bus, and while waiting for the bus to leave, I decided to pull out my quote-unquote stalker lens, which is my Tamron 70-300mm, and take some pictures of the bus driver and the security guard he was talking to. As you can see, these pictures are quite blurry, but you'll see as the series goes on, my stalker photography abilities greatly improve. So then we set off from Kyoto, where we were now, to Hakone, which is about a 4-hour drive from here. For entertainment on the ride, our epic bus driver, Mr. Iyamoto-san, he put on Spirited Away on the little TV, which you probably won't be able to tell from this shot, but it is Spirited Away. But after that ended, he put on Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, which the cars were pretty good, but the acting was crap, so it was a bad movie. Well, anyway, on the bus ride, I got some pretty interesting pictures of like random Japanese things, like an alley, a random Toyota dealership, and this kid walking alone on the street with a shopping bag. I did also end up getting some nice video of this really tall bridge, and under the bridge there was this large wide open plain which had a traditional Japanese looking village on it, which I thought looked pretty cool. So after the 4 hours was up, we got to the port in Hakone, but before we got to the actual port place, there was this gift shop where they sold stuff like snacks and souvenirs, but what I was interested in was the gachapon machines. This picture isn't one that I took because I wasn't allowed to take pictures in the shop, so I just got this one off of Wikipedia. Gachapon machines usually cost anywhere from 50 to 250 yen, and that in dollars is 50 cents to $2.50. And the things that they dispense, like toys and stuff, is so much higher quality than the stuff that the little toy machines give out in America. It's like no comparison at all. And what I got little, what are they called? Gintama phone charms. They're little figures, like tiny little figures attached to a string that you put on your phone. And ironically, the phone that I use, which is a Palm Pixie, it doesn't have a little hole where you can put a strap or a phone charm or anything, so I can't really use them, which is a shame. They look so nice. So after I spent a fair amount of my money on gachapon, we left the dock to wait for the boat. While waiting, we saw these machines which looked like a panda and a bunny, and there were these little riding machines that kids used to ride while they waited for their boat to come. But I don't know if it's just me, but I think they look pretty scary. Well, and as I normally do while waiting for the bus, I just took more pictures of things around the dock. So after a few minutes, our flowery painted boat arrived, and we've headed off for the Hakone ropeway. On the way, I got some amazing views of the surrounding mountains, and the clouds were looking pretty stunning that day, so that really helped the atmosphere. As we got a bit closer to the ropeway, some kids on the bus started waving to the coast where the mountains were, and some people visiting a nearby shrine started to wave back. And I don't know why, but I thought this was pretty hilarious. And after that, a few minutes more of sailing, if you could call it sailing, we got to the island where the Hakone ropeway was. As the boat was pulling up to the dock, I saw some interesting looking swan pedal boats with bow ties, which I really wanted to use, but unfortunately we were on a very strict schedule and we had no time, so I couldn't use them. But next to these pedal boats there was a little cone thing, kind of like a cone, but it's not pointy, but this random cone thing that had a picture of a cute little seal painted on it, and I don't know why this painted seal was on it, and I haven't got around to reading the thing. I might put little subtitles if I end up reading it, but probably not. But I don't know why it was there, but it was there. So, and while I was taking pictures of these swan boats and this cone, the people in my group started getting mad at me because I was holding them up, taking pictures of things, so they pulled me along, told me to go. And as we got closer to the ropeway station, I saw this relatively colorful looking store thing, and it had a pink fan in front. And I didn't have the slightest clue what these guys were selling or what they did, but I did see through the window they had a Yoshi and Bowser plushie for Mario, and I really wanted to go in, but again, we were on a very strict schedule, so I couldn't, which is disappointing. So after seeing all these things on the way, we finally got to the ropeway station, which had an insane amount of vending machines in the lobby. In this tiny little area, there was more than 7 vending machines, and that is more than I've ever seen anywhere in America, but I'm pretty sure there's somewhere that has more than that. Okay, let's keep going. So we went into the lobby, we saw a whole bunch of pictures of Mount Fuji on the wall, which were taken from the cable car, and then we actually got into the cable car. And I would have been able to get a whole bunch of amazing pictures of Mount Fuji from the cable car, but as you could see, it was ridiculously cloudy, so I couldn't get that shot, which is again very disappointing. I wanted a really good picture of Mount Fuji, but oh well. And once we got to the top, you could really see how cloudy it was. When you look down the cable car line, you can see the cables just disappearing in the clouds. And when you look off the balcony on top of the mountain, you can see clouds just whooshing up the mountain from wherever clouds come from. They were just being shot up. So once you get out of the station, you see this rather hilly looking grassy plain area with a little shrine on top. And because of the altitude, trying to run to the shrine, you'll get incredibly tired even though you're only running like a few meters. And I did go up there, but around the shrine there's a whole bunch of rocks, and I got distracted by taking pictures of my friend Steven jumping off these rocks, saying he was doing parkour, so I never got to go into the shrine, which is, yeah, I never got to see it. So after spending an hour or so running around on the mountain, we went back down the cable car, we went onto our bus, drove back to our hotel in Tokyo. I laid out my stuff in my hotel room, saw the view from the window, and went to sleep. And that's it. Hopefully this one won't take as long to edit and put together as the last one did, but you never know with me, it might take a few months. So that's it. Thanks, bye.